What's up, everybody? Matt Kajeski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. And today we're talking college basketball bets ahead of February the 28th. Tuesday slate, we've got a full allotment of games, including the start to a number of conference tournaments. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. If you're listening on podcast, please leave a rating and review over there as well. A couple of housekeeping notes. First off, we have a brand new show on the Odd Shopper channel. It is a live show dedicated exclusively to betting that is going to be Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time with hosts like Ben, Laffy, Aton, Greg, all talking their bets of the day. It's a fun show, so make sure to check that out. And we are brought to you guys by DraftKings Sportsbook. They have a no-brainer limited time offer for you guys where you can bet $5 on any pre-game money line. And if that bet wins, you are turning your $5 into $150. So what I recommend is head over to DraftKings Sportsbook, find a big favorite. Like tonight, Mississippi State is a 16-point favorite over South Carolina. Bet them on the money line. Really good chance you win that bet, and a really good chance you're turning that $5 into $150. You can take advantage of that by clicking the link in the video description below. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. The legal age for gambling in most days is 21. All right. We've had a lot of success recently. The start to the ASUN tournament was awesome yesterday, although our only loss did come with Florida Gulf Coast. Won the Northern Colorado bet, won the Baylor bet, even with Keontae George out. We talked a lot about how his absence might not be the most impactful, and that very much was the case. We also added some bets late that weren't set on the video, added Norfolk State, they covered. And if you want access to anything additionally, that's all going to be in our Discord. We have an insider access Discord where we talk about bets all throughout the day. And it's been awesome over the last 3-4 days on a 16-2 run, the best run of my season. So hopefully we can continue moving this forward. Also, we have a free 7-day trial. If you are interested in that, it's tournament time, not just NCAA tournament, but conference tournaments. So there's a lot we'll be talking about in Discord. But let's spin this forward. We have a couple of really interesting games today. And I think ones where we can pick off some value, especially considering some injuries that have occurred recently. And that is the first one. We have Buffalo taking on Northern Illinois in the MAC. And this is one we jumped on really early due to injuries on the Northern Illinois side. A lot of major books were hanging a -1, and it's quickly moved to -4. That's largely because of the injury situation on Northern Illinois. This team is just not healthy. You can look at some players they've lost throughout the year. Keyshawn Williams has only played 15 games for them. He's their best player. Davis Coates is injured now. He hasn't played in their last 2 games. Xavier Amos has only played 7 games. Zion Russell's only played 9 games. And meanwhile, Buffalo's a team that's gotten healthier. If you look at their players, they've had a couple guys miss games here and there. Hardnett missed a game. Zid Powell missed 3 or 4 games for this team. And altogether, they've had 8 games-ish on their schedule where they've missed a player or 2 who's actually impactful to this team, and it's evidence in their record. So essentially, when you break this down, you have a team in Buffalo who actually power rates similar to Northern Illinois. You can see they do have edges in a bunch of statistics, offensive efficiency, and rebounding in particular. They have a massive advantage over Northern Illinois. But this is a team that's also due for positive regression, so there's a little bit of upward mobility in some of these Buffalo metrics that you're seeing on the screen. Now, this team is hitting the road. That is a problem, but they absolutely demolished Northern Illinois in their first game, and I don't really see that being a major difference here. You basically have all the size advantages and rebounding advantages over this Northern Illinois team, and I don't think they're going to be able to stick in this game with some of those struggles they've had, especially, like offensive rebounding. Buffalo is 79th in the country. This is an excellent rebounding unit on the glass. And they should be able to have some success inside, where Northern Illinois ranks 210th in interior defense. So we'll be back in the Bulls, have the -1 ticket, think -4 is still okay. We'll go to our second contest, a little more of a higher profile game. This one's in the ACC, NC State taking on Duke, a rematch from earlier this year where NC State rolled Duke. They won by a score of 84-60. That was on their home court. Duke had 21 turnovers in that game. 21 turnovers. Holy smokes, that is atrocious. All this to say, Duke has some advantages here. We took this at Duke -4. It's quickly taken money as well. And right away, Duke stands out with their size. That's going to be an issue against NC State for a couple of reasons. One, Duke is really deep in their front court. It's not just Filipkowski. You've got Lively. Whitehead is back. Now, some of those guys did play. Most of they all play, actually, in the first game. It was just the turnovers that got them. But the matchup advantage Duke possesses inside should be something that they look to exploit here. Jack Clark is hurt for NC State. Game time decision is what they're calling it. But the injury he suffered, if you saw it, it did not look pretty. He did not play in their most recent game. I think he's more on the doubtful side of this equation. And then the other big man they've been relying on in the interior, DJ Burns, is the major, major foul risk. One of the highest foul rates in the country. And that's honestly an issue with NC State altogether, is it's a team that does struggle with fouls. They're 314th in the country in fouling. Meanwhile, Duke is 73rd on offense in fouls generated. So we have a team here in Duke who generates a lot of fouls on offense, and a team in NC State who just cannot keep their hands to themselves. Now, that's not the only advantage on the inside. Duke in particular should be able to exploit an NC State defense that ranks 179th in interior defense. We talked about the big three towers they have inside that exploit this. But Duke also defends the three really well. This team ranks 44th in three-point defense. That's the strength of this NC State offense. NC State is 66 in three-point attempts. They're 126 in three-point percentage, and they've struggled inside at times, especially when Jack Clark is injured. So there's a lot of matchup advantages here that suit Duke. Now, we talked about the turnovers, the 21 turnovers in matchup one. That's still an issue. Duke, 273rd in turnovers committed. NC State, my goodness, they're top 100 in turnovers forced. So this is something that's probably going to be an issue for Duke, probably going to be an issue for them in the ACC tournament. But as long as they can keep the ball in their own hands and not turn it over here, this is a matchup that they have plenty of advantages and should win. We'll back the Blue Devils at home. And we'll go to our last matchup here. Texas A&M Ole Miss. This is a total we're looking at towards the under, sitting at 136. This is one we have not seen a lot of movement in, but are still showing value. And there's a lot of reasons why. First and foremost, both these teams are really slow. We talk about this a lot. Season average for pace across the NCAA is around 70. You've got Texas A&M at 68.6. You've got Ole Miss at 69.2. But you can isolate their most recent play in conference and even since the month of February, and you're going to find even slower play. Texas A&M is 316th in adjusted tempo since February 1st. Ole Miss is 189th. This game is going to be played at a snail's pace. And from there, you have just overall defensive efficiency from Texas A&M. And you have pretty solid defense in Ole Miss at 146. Texas A&M has actually improved their defense right around the top 30 mark. Ole Miss has remained constant. Now, that's important here because Ole Miss has dealt with a ton of injuries throughout the year. Matt Morrell, he missed some time here. And I think there is a little bit of room for upward mobility in their metrics, but I still don't think we're talking about the most talented roster. Most importantly, you have a terrible Ole Miss offense facing a good Texas A&M defense. And an Ole Miss defense, I think that can slow you just enough on the Texas A&M side, especially with them playing so slow, to keep this underneath the total of 136. But that'll do it for us today. It's a massive slate of games. Let me know what you think of the board. Let me know what you think of these plays. If you'd like to reach out on Twitter, I'm at Matt_Kajeski, doing a bunch of betting content, trying to tweet out some info every single day. And we'll be back tomorrow and the rest of the week talking more games. So until then, good luck, everybody. We will see you later.